When most gardeners think about starting raised beds, the go-to advice is, fill it with compost and you're ready to plant. While compost is an amazing soil amendment, it's really just one piece of the puzzle. If you want to create a raised bed that's not only productive but bursting with life from the very first day, you have to think beyond compost. You have to think about building a truly bioactive soil ecosystem. Bioactive means your soil isn't just holding plants. It's alive with beneficial fungi, bacteria, insects, and earthworms, all working together to feed your plants in the most natural way possible. The goal is to mimic what happens in a healthy forest floor, where every layer is teeming with life, cycling nutrients, and improving itself over time. The best part? You can set this up instantly and start your growing season with soil that acts like it's been thriving for years. The first step in creating a bioactive raised bed is layering different organic materials in a way that sparks microbial activity from day one. Start with a base layer that encourages drainage and aeration. This could be small branches, twigs, or rough wood chips. This mimics the woody debris layer you'd find in a natural ecosystem, where fungi start breaking down lignin and slowly release nutrients over time. Above that, add a layer of carbon-rich browns like shredded leaves, straw, or even cardboard. This will provide food for decomposers while helping to retain moisture. If you have access to leaf mold, the partially decomposed leaf material rich in fungal life, this is a goldmine for bioactivity. Spread it generously. It's like seeding your bed with nature's own microbial starter culture. Now it's time to add the nitrogen-rich greens layer, which fuels the composting process and kickstarts the microbial party. Fresh grass clippings, garden trimmings, coffee grounds, or vegetable scraps work perfectly here. The mix of browns and greens will create a gentle heat and rapid breakdown, which means nutrient release will happen almost immediately. But here's the key difference between a standard compost pile and a bioactive raised bed. You're not waiting for the process to finish before planting. By balancing the layers carefully and capping them with mature compost or topsoil, you create an environment that's safe for planting while decomposition happens gently beneath your crops. At this stage, you can take your soil's biology to the next level by inoculating it with beneficial life. This could be as simple as adding a shovelful of healthy soil from an established organic garden, introducing compost worms, or sprinkling on mycorrhizal fungi spores. These microbes and fungi form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, making nutrients more available and helping plants withstand stress. Think of this like introducing probiotics into your gut. It's not just about nutrients, it's about creating a balanced, thriving community. If you really want to supercharge your bed, you can brew a compost tea or a jade microbial solution and water it in right after planting. This floods the system with billions of beneficial organisms from the start. Watering your new bed is where the magic really begins. Instead of saturating the soil all at once, give it a deep, slow soak to encourage the materials to settle without compacting. This also wakes up dormant microbes and draws them into contact with fresh organic matter. From here, maintain steady moisture, never letting the bed completely dry out during the establishment phase. A thick mulch layer, such as straw, shredded leaves, or wood chips, will lock in moisture, prevent erosion, and create a protected environment for fungal networks to weave through the surface layers. Remember, moisture plus oxygen plus organic matter equals microbial abundance. One of the biggest advantages of building a bioactive bed this way is that you don't have to wait a year for your soil to mature. By carefully stacking organic layers, adding biological inoculants, and creating the right moisture and temperature conditions, you shortcut nature's timeline without skipping any of the important steps. Your plants benefit from a steady nutrient supply, improved root health, and resilience against pests and diseases. Plus, the soil actually gets better with every season rather than depleting. In fact, after your first harvest, you'll notice that the soil is darker, looser, and filled with earthworm tunnels. That's your sign that the biology is thriving. Finally, it's important to remember that a bioactive raised bed is not a set-it-and-forget-it system. It's a living ecosystem that you can feed and nurture over time. After each growing season, top up the bed with another light layer of browns and greens, water it in, and let the soil life do the rest. Avoid synthetic fertilizers or chemical pesticides. which can disrupt microbial populations. Instead, rely on compost teas, fermented plant juices, or natural amendments like kelp meal and rock dust. By keeping your inputs organic and diverse, you ensure that your soil food web stays strong, balanced, and productive for years to come. When you go beyond compost and focus on building a bioactive raised bed, you're not just creating a container for plants, you're creating a living, breathing ecosystem. And when your soil thrives, everything else in your garden follows. Your plants will grow faster, produce more, and resist challenges naturally. So the next time you're setting up a raised bed, skip the single ingredient approach. Instead, layer, inoculate, hydrate, and protect. And watch as your garden rewards you with abundance from day one.